How to create a custom page transition where the page is animated from left to right, from right to left, from bottom to top, and you will also learn how to customize your animation to your needs. Let's get started within the build method. Here I have already created a button which you see here on the right side, and if I click on this button then we are going to a second page, and this is what we are doing here with this Navigator push. So this is a normal transition from one page to another page. And we want to customize this transition, so instead of the material page route, we want to use here our custom page route. And instead of the builder property, we put here the child property inside. And lastly, we want to create a custom page route class to create our custom animation from one page to another page. Before we do this, I also want to mention that this button widget is a widget that I have created, so it is basically here an elevated button. Alright, now let's create this custom page route. Therefore I create here a new class, and this needs to be extending the page route builder. Next we create then a constructor where we get then our child widget, and the child widget is then every time the page to which you want to transition. And lastly, we need to follow two simple steps. So we need to call the supper constructor, and here within this page builder we need to return then our child widget. And secondly, we need to override a method which is called build transitions. And here we need to return then first of all our child. So this is the route to which we want to navigate to. And lastly, you can then define the transition from one page to the other page. So I create here a scale transition for the beginning. And here within the scale property, you put then this animation inside. To slow the transition from one page a bit down, we go also to the supper constructor, and here we set then the transition duration to 1 second. And now if I click on this custom navigation button, you see we have here the scaling animation to the next page. And this is exactly what we have defined here with the scale transition. Let's also create a slide transition from the left side to the right side. To achieve this, you need to simply replace here your scale transition with a slide transition. And inside of the slide transition, you need to define the position property. However, you cannot put here directly the animation inside because it is asking us here for an animation of type offset. Therefore, let's convert our animation double to an animation offset. Therefore, I'm simply creating here a tree of type offset. And on it, I call then the method animate and put here the animation of double inside. Within the tree object, we can now define where our animation should start. So we say it should start here on the left side. So here you can define the X coordinate and here the Y coordinate. And we say that the screen should start the animation from -100% on the X coordinate. So it is on the left side. So our whole screen here is moved by 100% to the left side. So it is starting from this location here. And secondly, we define where our animation should end. So here in this case at 0, 0. And this means that our animation is going from the left side to the origin so that it is going again to the normal state. Let's now try it out. So I click here on custom navigation and you see we have here a sliding transition from the left to the right side. And also if I click on the back button, then it is going from the right side again to the left side. And of course, you can also define next to the transition duration here also a reverse transition duration, and I set it right now also to 1 second. And with this, the back transition will now take also exactly 1 second. Next, we want to look at how we can also do a right to left animation, how we can also create a bottom to up animation, and also up to bottom animation. To create these page transitions from different directions, we also want to add here a direction within our constructor. And with this, we can then define easily where our animation should go. So for example, down or left or up or right. And based on what we define here then within the constructor, we want to change then our begin position. Therefore, I create here a new method getBeginOffset. And here inside, we define then all the different directions. So before we have already looked here at exactly this transition where we have here -100% on the X coordinate. And with this, our page was starting at the left side and then it was animating to the right side. And you also can then simply define here all the other cases. For example, if you want to have a right to left animation, then you define here a 1. So it starts here at 100% on the right side. So it's going then here from the right side to the left side. And the same is also for these here. So this time we don't change it on the x coordinate. So this stays here 0. And instead we change it on the y coordinate. So the +1 means that we are starting here from the bottom, and the -1 means that we are starting then here from the top location. And lastly, we can then make use of these different directions, and therefore we can simply go here to the page where we have created our custom page route transition. And now we can define easily within our custom page route also the direction, for example, up. And now if I click on this button, you see that our animation is going up from bottom to top. So all in all, you can create your custom animation every time within this build transition method, where you create then here your custom transition. Alright, now we have learned how we can use Navigator push to create a custom transition. However, maybe we want to use also this Navigator push named, and then we also want to do a custom transition. And this works also easily. However, you cannot put this custom page route transition directly inside of this push named method. Instead, you need to go to your main file, and here inside you need to go then to the material app and to your on-generated route. And here you replace then your material page route every time with your custom page route that we have created before. So in this case, if we animate to the second page, then we have every time our custom animation. However, you can also define here still the material page route if you want to have the material page route for your other pages. Otherwise, you can also replace this one, and you can also put here your custom page route inside. And in case you also want to add route settings to your route, you can also go here inside of the constructor, and here you add then simply your route settings. And now we can also try this one out. So you see it is animating from the left to the right side, even if we call the push named method. And by the way, if you want to get here this whole source code of this application, then you can get it with the first link in the description. And with the second link, you can get access to my Flutter courses, where I teach you how you can become a better and more efficient developer. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel.